I thought I'd do a video for this because it's fun to do and simple to show. I have my meter set on voltage and it's on the 20 volt scale, and I have my connectors in here so that one is negative, one's positive, but it really doesn't matter because the meter is kind of smart and it will just reverse it and you'll get negative or positive, so it really doesn't matter. So I've got some water, just any old cup will do. I put a little bit of salt in this experiment. You can use the vinegar as an electrolyte. You can use juice or anything, really. Try it. And any electrolyte, anything that will allow electrons to flow. So it can be actually a base or an acid. It's just a matter of which ions are allowed to flow in the circuit. So you have a piece of copper, and you notice I sanded this so it's got some clean edges. This is a piece of copper that came out of a metal detector for going into the library or someplace like that detects whether or not you have stolen a book. And so we salvaged it and we pulled out like 100 pounds of this copper that would have normally gone to recycling. And here I have a zinc covered nail. Now you call those galvanized nails, but what they are is iron that are dipped into liquid zinc. And so the zinc is a covering that doesn't oxidize easily, and so that's why they do it. They do it for outside purposes. So I'm going to put these two in at equidistant here, and we notice that the voltage says 0.68 volts or 0.70. It will change and it will vary depending upon the the efficiency of the ions or whatever. So you would record that or a range of it and so forth. So if you'll notice that was the zinc, so you could do another combination. I have some aluminum here that I've also sanded. If you take a pie plate or if you take aluminum foil, you really have to make sure it doesn't have a coating on it. So I've taken the coating off. And now this one, it has close to 0.93. So what's interesting, or now we're down to 0.82, what's interesting about all these metals is that different combinations have a different set of data on the electromotive series. So in other words, if this copper has a plus or minus amount of potential difference when an electron leaves versus aluminum, the difference between those becomes the potential difference that we have on the electromotive series. And the more difference that we have between these, the greater the voltage that will be created. So when they're searching for battery kinds of components, they're really looking for differences in metals that have a very different electromotive standing on the scale. So you wouldn't want to use something like silver and lead or silver and gold, for example, because there's so little difference in terms of their electromotive series that there's hardly any voltage difference, and it would not make a good battery. So you would try these various kinds of things, figure out which is the best, take a look at that chart, see if that makes sense, and then try different electrolytes to see whether or not there's more or less efficiency. There's all sorts of folks that do wonderful things with batteries on the web and solid batteries and that sort of a thing. So it's fun to do these experiments and have kids research how to make a battery.